welcome back to another video, the second video in fact, and hopefully some of you will come back, otherwise it's a bit awkward. Today we're going to have a look around my 1971 Chevelle, affectionately known by my wife and children as Tammy Lyn. So yeah, here she is. As you can see, currently undercover, winter here still in the UK, and I'm quite precious about the underside of this car, as I've spent a lot of time and effort making it clean and restoring it and making it like new, so I don't drive it on the salty, wet, dirty UK winter roads. So yeah, tucked up under its cover currently, but the sun's out today, so let's dig out the garage and have a look around it and see how it's doing. Obviously, only being a single width UK garage, it's a bit of a squeeze at the best of times, but for winter I tuck it over to one side so it's out of the way, and I can get in and out of the garage. So we're going to have to get it under cover, jack it up, slide it over and get it out. Yeah, here she is in all her glory. Good to see her back out in the sunshine. I think it's been 2-3 months, maybe longer, since it's been sat in the garage collecting dust. Yeah, so I've built it as a bit of a pro touring style car. Love drag racing, was tempted to go pro street, but practicality got the better of me. I think pro touring drives a lot nicer, and I could keep the rear seats, so I could take my daughters out in it as well, keeping it, you know, a family practical vehicle. I've kept the patina paintwork on it. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. I was going to paint it when I first bought it, but then I decided I'd rather spend the money on making it go quicker. So underneath is immaculate, as I said earlier. On top she's got a bit of a patina finish. I added these stripes to it. It was just a bit too blue when I first got it, and the SS style stripes with the patina finish to them, I think just make the car really stop it looking such like a big blue American car. Yeah, so let's start with the outside then basically. So 71 Chevelle. A little bit of a mixed match at the front here though. It's got a 72 grille. Not sure what's happened at some point in its life. It's been blacked out. It gives it a bit of a unique look though, so sort of haven't bothered changing it. Probably going to keep that. I've also added, if you can see there, 69 Camaro front splitter. Fairly common mod in the States. Yeah, you've got to cut it about a little bit, make it fit. I do want to build a aluminium version of that also goes a bit wider, so it sort of matches the car a bit better, but yeah, we'll get to that. It's got an SS bonnet or hood on it. I'm not trying to pretend it's an SS. This sort of started out as a Malibu with a 302 cubic inch V8 in it, and you know, I'm not trying to pretend to make an SS. I don't want an SS, but it came with the bonnet. It's pretty cool. They've got the the cowl induction on it, a little flap, which I reinstated, wasn't working when I got it. Bought the diaphragm, so now on full throttle, pops up. Yeah, US mag, Rambler wheels, 18 inch, 18 by 8 up front, 18 by 9.5 on the rear, with a 285, 35, 18 semi-slick tyre on there. It's pretty grippy, way more tyre than this car currently needs, and kind of shows where it's a bit underpowered currently. But we'll get there. It's gonna, you know, big plans for it. Oh yeah, and I had to add some mirrors onto it. It came with one mirror on the driver's side, but being a left-hand drive car in the UK, that wasn't much use when you're trying to, you know, move over lanes on the dual carriageway and whatnot. But yeah, other than that, on the outside, I'm putting some UK style lights in it, the UK beam pattern. Yeah, I haven't done much other than sort of shine the paint up a little bit. It was dead matte when I got it, the paint was completely dead. Oh yeah, I did put in some wing bottoms that had rotted through. But other than that, she's pretty solid. Let's have a look on the inside. Yeah, inside the car was pretty much a state when I got it. It had originally been a bench seat car, but it had two black buckets out of a different GM vehicle, I'm not quite sure what. They sat quite high though, and my head was hitting the headrest, so they had to go quite quick. I've put a set of these bucket seats in there, made custom mounts all for the floor for them. They're pretty good, they're pretty comfortable, not the most expensive seats in the world, and I will probably upgrade them at some point, but they're currently giving it that Pro Touring look I was going for. OMP steering wheel, because the old wheel it didn't have the original wheel, and the wheel that was in it was pretty worn and tired. Yeah, B&M shifter, the column shift was cool, but yeah, a few times accidentally slip it into neutral when you're shifting gears manually, so gone with the drag race style B&M shifter to control that auto box currently. Not 100% sure I'm going to stay automatic with it yet, but we'll see. Original bench seat in the back, looking a bit tired. Daughter-child seat, like I said, family practical vehicle. Obligatory American cowboy hat in the back. Yeah, I also added these 3-point belts, just a bit safer, you know, got to take some safety in consideration. It did have 3-point belts, it was like a separate lap belt and then a belt that come down from the top, so you could either have just one or the other, or both and make a 3-point belt. The rears just had lap belts though, which I had to convert, well I wanted to convert to 3-point, because yeah, like I said, I take my children in the back. I'll make sure they're nice and safe in here. Not that many safety features in a 70s muscle car standard. So yeah, let's have a look under the bonnet here. Being an SS bonnet, it's got the hood pins on it, but also still the bonnet catch. So all the safety equipment to hold it down. Hopefully you can see in there, it's not too bright. So yeah, it was originally a 307 cubic inch car. Some point in its life it's had this 350 small block put in there. I believe, looking at the engine code, it's out of a 73 car, not sure what, but yeah, it was pretty low power looking at it as well, like 175 horsepower from factory. Not ideal in an American muscle car, all the noise, no go. But it's been played around with a bit since then. It came with me with a 4-barrel carb on it and a intake and these headers or manifolds on it. I've since put a slightly bigger carburetor on it, different cam in it to give it that chop and muscle car sound, because it just sounded a bit too smooth before. Painted the engine, made it look a bit tidier. You might have also noticed no inner wings. Yeah, when I did the chassis restoration on this, as you can see, it's nice and shiny. Stripped this right down to separate body, separate chassis. Cleaned the whole underside of the body off, cut out any rust, welded in new panels, and then had the chassis all shot blasted, and then I've painted it. This will eventually go. I've got an LS for it. I want to go LS turbo. That's probably going to take up quite a lot of room, so yeah, I'll probably build some when I do that to keep the dirt out, but I only drive it in nice weather, so it doesn't actually get that dirty in here. What else have I done in here? Yeah, oh yeah, So yeah, chassis and suspension is where I've spent a lot of time, effort and money on this car. Yeah, like I said, chassis nice and shiny all throughout. They've got like a C-section in the middle, where it uses C-section rather than a box frame. I've boxed that in to help stiffen that up and had to modify the gearbox cross member to make that work. Just stiffens the whole car up massively. Poly bush mounts holding the body on. The beautiful QA1 suspension setup, tubular control arms front and rear, coilovers front and rear, bigger anti-roll bars, CPP drop spindles to get it, you know, even lower but actually still have some suspension travel. CPP quick ratio steering box, yeah, it just stops it feeling like a boat, turning a bit quicker, and you can catch it if it does go a bit sideways a lot easier. Let's have a look at the rear ones, hopefully you can see them. It really is a nice bit of kit, the QA1 stuff. I met the guys at SEMA a couple of years ago and was blown away by their products, which is why that was exactly what I wanted for this car as soon as I built it. It really transformed this car, you know, from a wallowy old American muscle car to something that actually really handles quite well, and is much stiffer than it was before. So yeah, hopefully you could tell from the thumbnail at the beginning of this video that Snap-on UK featured my car in their calendar 2023. I was pretty happy, overwhelmed in fact. You know, every garage up and down the UK country in the month of February, which we're in now, I've got to look at this whole thing. I'm pretty pleased though, and they sorted out, you know, really accommodating, sorted me out. Nice little poster to remember it forever. Shout out to a friend of mine, Richard Betts. He did the photography for me, making it look as good as it does. So yeah, hopefully some of you can enjoy that, and any of you that aren't, you know, UK based, are have a look on my Instagram. You'll be able to see some photos of what it looked like, and I might post some more of those photos from the photo shoot so you can all enjoy it. So as I mentioned in in the previous video, I'm going to remake the exhaust on this. It currently hangs a bit too low, but before we change it, let's be rude not to fire it up while she's outside, make sure it's all good, see what it sounds like currently. So then we've got a bit of comparison from what it sounds like now to once I've done it. Haven't decided if I really want to go much louder. It's quite a nice tone at the moment, without being drony on the road. Yeah, but it's been sat for a while. That carburetor is going to be empty of fuel. Yeah, let's pull this air filter off. We can then get the carburetor filled up with some fuel. See if she'll fire into life. Got a Holly 750 vacuum secondary on it. Love a double pumper, but yeah, haven't gone to that yet. No choke. Bit of an issue in the cold, but don't drive it that much in the cold, so probably gonna have to feather the throttle a little bit to keep it running. Let's yeah, I'm gonna fill up the carburetor chambers through the vent tubes here. Otherwise, relying on the mechanical pump normally drains the battery before it fires up, so let's give it a little bit of a helping hand. So yeah, let's try not to make too much of a mess doing this. I use this little funnel with a bit of hose on it, push it over the overflow tube just to fill the float bowls up in the carb. This one's a bit of an issue, there's no nothing to put it onto. So that's got plenty of fuel in there now. As you can see, the accelerator pumps squirting fuel in there. Let's wake everyone up, get this beast going. Yeah, a couple of pumps of the throttle. Let's see how she does. Pressure's climbing, so that's a good sign. Woohoo! She lives once again. bet my neighbours probably hate me. Sunday morning, firing this thing up. Went pretty well though, not too many dramas. I always forget how good this thing sounds with that comp cam in it. Listen to that. Like music to my ears. Yeah, if you guys are interested, I might do a bit of a backstory video on this car. The build that I've done on it last year before. And everything that I've done to it so far since owning it and the story of owning it. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, let me know. It would mostly be pictures and me just talking about it because this was before I decided to do YouTube. So yeah, I didn't record anything basically, just took photos for my own sake. So there we have it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the sort of quick look around my Chevelle Tammy Lyn. I'm bound to have forgot loads of details about it. If you want to know any more, feel free to send me a message. If you want to see more about it, let me know. Like I said, it's going to be probably next few videos, me doing bits and pieces on that. I'm just waiting on some parts from the States. We're going to tackle that exhaust hanging a bit too low problem. Got a line lock for it because, you know, those sticky tyres are stopping it doing burnouts nowadays. Used to be able to just hold the brake on and let it rip, but it doesn't like it anymore with them tyres, so that just won't do with an American muscle car. Yeah, so once they arrive, we'll get it jacked up and get cracking. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe. Yeah, hopefully leave us some comments, and we'll catch you in the next video.